Good evening, and welcome to Future Forward. Tonight, we're discussing a question that affects almost all of us in our daily lives. With every new app, gadget, and smart device, are we becoming more efficient, or are we simply becoming lazy? To help us explore this topic, I have two excellent guests with me today. First, we have Leo, a social commentator, and the author of the popular book, The Comfort Crisis. He believes technology is making us lazy, and joining him is Dr. Chloe Vance, a leading researcher in human-computer interaction. She argues that technology is a powerful tool for efficiency. Welcome to you both. We'll start with opening statements. Leo, let's begin with you.
Thank you, Sarah. The argument is quite simple. Technology offers us too much convenience, and this convenience, it's reducing our need to use our bodies and our minds. Let's start with physical laziness. We drive to the corner store instead of walking. We take the elevator to the second floor instead of using the stairs. We order food through an app instead of preparing a simple meal at home. Each of these choices on its own seems small, but when you add them all together, you get a sedentary lifestyle. This isn't an accident. It's a direct result of technology making it easy to avoid physical effort. But it's not just about our bodies. Technology is also making our minds lazy. Think about it. When was the last time you memorized a new phone number or used a paper map to navigate a new city? Our smartphones do it for us. Autocorrect fixes our spelling so we don't have to learn it properly. Calculators do basic math, so our brains don't have to practice. I see technology as an overly helpful assistant. At first, this assistant is wonderful. It helps with difficult tasks, but soon it starts doing everything for us, and we slowly forget how to do things for ourselves. We become dependent, and that is a form of laziness.
Thank you, Leo. A strong start? Dr. Vance, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Sarah. I see the situation very differently. Technology is not the cause of laziness. It is a tool that automates simple, repetitive tasks. This frees up our time and our mental energy for more important and meaningful activities. Leo mentions ordering food, but let's consider other household technologies. The washing machine saves us hours of difficult manual labor. The dishwasher does the same. Are we lazy for using these things, or are we smart? I believe we are being smart. That saved time can be used to learn a new language, to start a creative project, or simply to spend more quality time with our families. This brings me to my second point. We are not losing skills. We are exchanging old skills for new ones that are more relevant in the 21st century. Instead of memorizing phone numbers, people are learning how to manage digital information. Instead of only learning basic math, they're learning data analysis and how to use complex software. Young people are learning coding, graphic design, and how to collaborate with people across the world online. These are incredibly valuable skills. So technology is not a crutch that makes us weak. It is a ladder. It allows us to stop doing the basic work and helps us reach higher than we ever could before.
Thank you both for those clear positions. Let's get into the discussion. Leo, you raised a very important point about the sedentary lifestyle that can come from convenience. But Chloe, what about fitness technology? We have smartwatches that track our steps, apps that guide our workouts, and videos that teach us yoga. Isn't technology also part of the solution?
May I respond to that? I acknowledge that fitness technology exists, of course, but I see it as a reaction to a problem that technology created in the first place. Think about the logic here. We need an app to remind us to stand up and walk, because technology gave us desk jobs where we sit for 8 hours. We need a watch to count our steps, because technology gave us cars, so we don't have to walk. We're using a small piece of technology to solve a massive problem created by our general reliance on technology. It feels like taking a pill for a headache caused by a loud alarm clock, and then saying the alarm clock is good for your health because it led you to discover the pill. It doesn't make sense, It shows how deep the problem is. Our natural, daily activities are no longer enough to keep us healthy, so we have to schedule exercise and use another gadget to monitor it. This is not a sign of progress, in my opinion.
I have to disagree with Leo's framing of this issue. He calls it a small solution, but I believe it is a revolution in personal health. He sees it as a reaction, but I see it as empowerment. Before this technology, how could an ordinary person track their heart rate throughout the day? How could they measure their sleep quality? This information was only available in a hospital or a doctor's office. Now it is available to everyone, on their wrist. This technology gives us powerful information and allows us to take control of our own health. Think about access. People in rural areas, far from a gym, can now access the best workout classes in the world online. Someone with a specific health condition can monitor their activity levels with incredible precision. This is not a small solution. It is the democratization of health and wellness. It puts the power in the hands of the individual, and that is the opposite of making them lazy or weak.
That's a very interesting point about empowerment. Let's shift from the physical to the mental. Chloe, you say we're learning new skills, which is a great point. But are we losing fundamental abilities, as Leo suggested? What happens if our GPS signal is lost when we're driving in an unfamiliar city? Have we lost the basic skill of finding our own way?
That's a common fear, but I believe it misunderstands how our brains work. Our brain is not a fixed disk with a limited amount of space. It is a wonderfully adaptive organ. When we use technology to handle simple data, like phone numbers or turn-by-turn directions, we are not losing a skill. We are offloading a cognitive task. This frees up our mental energy to focus on more complex problem solving. Think of it as mental automation. We automated washing clothes so we could write books. Now we are automating basic memory tasks so we can think more creatively and critically. Our intelligence is not disappearing. It is evolving to meet the challenges of the modern world. And to answer your specific question, if the GPS fails, a person today has many options. They can use a downloaded offline map, they can call someone for help, or they can use their problem-solving skills to look for street signs and landmarks. We are more resourceful, not less.
I am sorry, but I cannot accept that these are just simple data. These foundational skills are much more important than Chloe suggests. They are the building blocks of higher-level thinking. Navigation, for example, is not just about getting from point A to point B. It builds our spatial awareness, our memory, and our ability to create a mental map of our environment. These are deep cognitive skills. Doing basic math in your head is not just about getting the right answer. It strengthens your logical thinking and your ability to estimate. When we completely outsource these core mental exercises, our cognitive muscles become weak. Chloe says we become more resourceful, but I argue we become more dependent and fragile. A small system failure, a dead phone battery, a network outage, could create a very big problem for a person who has completely lost these basic abilities. We are building a beautiful, technologically advanced house, but it is on a very weak foundation.
We're running short on time, so let's move to your closing statements. You each have about a minute to summarize your position. Leo, please go first.
Certainly. The core of my argument is this. Human beings, like all living things, tend to follow the path of least resistance. Technology today is a master at creating that path. It makes it easy to do nothing, to think less, and to ask for less from ourselves. While this comfort is appealing, it leads to physical and mental weakness over time. We become passive consumers of convenience rather than active participants in our own lives. My final thought is not to abandon technology. That is impossible and foolish. Instead, I urge everyone to practice what I call digital mindfulness. We must be more conscious and balanced in our use of these tools. We should control our technology. We should not let it control us.
Thank you, Leo. And now for your closing statement, Dr. Vance.
My position is clear. Laziness is a personal choice, not an inevitable side effect of technology. Technology is, and always has been, a powerful tool for human progress. From the wheel to the internet, we have always created tools to make our lives better and to achieve more. These tools automate the boring, difficult, and repetitive parts of life so that we can focus our unique human talents on creativity, innovation, and connection. They are ladders, not cages. My final thought is an optimistic one. We should embrace technology and focus our energy on education. We need to teach ourselves and our children how to use these incredible tools wisely and ethically. If we do that, we can solve the great problems of our time, from climate change to disease. The future is not something to fear. It is something to build.
Thank you, Leo, and thank you, Dr. Chloe Vance, for a fascinating and important discussion. You've given us all a lot to think about. So to our audience, is the technology in your pocket a tool or a trap? A ladder or a cage? Perhaps the answer is that it's whatever you choose to make it. Thank you for watching Future Forward. Good night.